If you own a single family home in North Redondo, buyers are paying 100% of the list price and inventory is razor thin. But if you own a condo a few miles away in South Redondo, the average competition is sitting at 41 days, the longest wait in the city. Same zip code, two completely different realities. And if you price or time your sale like it's one Redondo market, you can lose tens of thousands of dollars or donate months to holding costs. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you will know exactly which lane your property is in and whether the smarter move is to sell into this spring window or hold based on what the February numbers are actually saying in Redondo Beach. If you are thinking about selling in the next 3 to 6 months, you are weighing a very specific trade-off. You have the benefit of today's scarcity, inventory is still historically low, versus the risk of a changing economy backdrop. We have a labor market that just showed signs of fragility, and we have a major local infrastructure decision regarding the metro line that just changed the map for North Redondo. The question isn't just what is my home worth, but how much friction will I face getting that price? For some of you, the risk is selling too early before the spring peak. For others, specifically in the condo market, the risk is listing too high and getting stuck as inventory builds. Think about the difference between driving Artesia Boulevard on a Tuesday morning versus walking the Esplanade in the afternoon. One is high velocity, decisive, functional, moving fast. The other is premium, slower, lifestyle driven, and more selective. That's Redondo real estate right now. If you're selling in the next 3 to 6 months, the biggest risk isn't what's my home worth, it's how much friction will I take to actually get my price. Let me show you which lane you're in, using the February numbers that are splitting this city into two. To understand your leverage, we have to look at the supply. As of February 2026, Redondo Beach is holding at 2 months of supply for single family homes and 3 months for condos. In plain English, months of supply just asks, if no new homes came on the market, how long would it take to sell everything currently for sale? Anything under 4 months is technically a seller's market, but at 3 months for condos, we are drifting towards a balanced environment. We are not in a frenzy, we are in a market that is healthy but highly sensitive to price. I have homeowners just like you reaching out every week trying to figure out if they missed the window or if it's just opening. If you want to know exactly where your specific address fits into this split reality but aren't quite ready to get on a call, you can use a tool called HomeBot. Think of it as a monthly financial dashboard for your home that tracks your estimated equity, your mortgage options, and your buying power based on real-time rates. Homeowners just like you find it very useful, and you can grab that using the link in the description. I'm Hernandez, your real estate advisor here in Redondo Beach, California. My job isn't just to put a sign up in your yard. It's to give you a clear numbers-based navigational plan for your equity so that you don't guess wrong on pricing, timing, or strategy. Because the headlines about the Redondo Beach prices blend together two completely different markets, and the averages can push you into an expensive decision. Your home lives in a specific lane, and that lane determines your leverage, your timeline, and your best next move. We are going to look at where the speed is, where the affordability ceiling is capping prices, and how the recent Metro K-line decision is going to impact property values in the north. This is your roadmap for the next 6 months. Let's start with where the market is moving fastest. This is the high velocity hub, the single family homes in North Redondo. This is the engine of our city's real estate market. If you own a house here, you are holding the most liquid asset in the city. In January, the median sales price for a single family home in North Redondo was $1,485,000, built on a price per square foot of $973. The key indicator of strength here is that sellers are receiving exactly 100% of their last list price. This market is not just strong, it's precise. On top of that, inventory is incredibly tight at just 1.9 months of supply, and homes are going under contract in a median of just 26 days. In plain English, that means if you have a clean, well-presented single family home in North Redondo, you are the price. Buyers are active, they are decisive, and they are paying full ask for homes that are priced correctly from day one. If you're an owner in North Redondo, you might be wondering how much pricing power do you really have? The data shows that while the final sales price is hitting 100% of the last list price, the median percent of the original price received is 98.9%. That small 1.1% gap is what I call the vanity tax. It's the cost of overpricing your home initially and having to chase the market down. This tells us that if you price price at the current market value, you will likely get every penny of it. You really have two clear paths. The first is to price your home right at the $973 per square foot benchmark to attract immediate, serious attention, likely resulting in a sale in under a month. The other path is to test a slightly higher price, but you must be prepared for the market to potentially ignore you, which could lead to a price reduction that ultimately nets you less than if you would have priced correctly from the start. If you want to learn how your home stacks up against the competition, I can run your address through a quick lane pricing check and show you two scenarios: the sell fast number and the test higher number, plus the point where testing stops being worth it. You can find that in the link in the description. If you're buying a single family home in North Redondo, you're probably worried about intense competition. You might be asking, do I have any negotiating power at all? With sellers getting 100% of their final asking price and inventory below 2 months, your leverage on price is minimal for a new, well-priced listing. The median days on market of 26 days means you have to be decisive, but you don't have to be reckless. Your posture should be one of prepared speed. This means having your financing fully approved and being ready to act within the first weekend a property is listed. Waiting a week or two means you'll likely be too late. If you want an edge without taking unnecessary risks, book a quick strategy call and I'm about exactly where you can be firm, where you can be flexible, and how to structure a clean offer that still protects you. Now let's move to the coast, South Redondo single family homes. This is the premium segment and it's where the data requires careful interpretation. The headline number is jarring. The median sales price for a single family home in South Redondo was $1,675,000 in January. This appears to be a massive drop from a year ago. However, this is a classic mix shift, not a value collapse. The real story is in the price per square foot, which is holding strong at $1,095, only a slight dip from $1,116 a year ago. What this means is that the type of home selling has changed, not that the land itself has lost significant value. We're seeing smaller homes sell, which pulls the median price down. The challenge here is liquidity. There were only 5 closed sales in January, and while homes are going under contract in a median of 22 days, there is a significant negotiation gap. Sellers are getting 97.1% of their last list price, but only 95.4% of their original list price. If you're an owner in South Redondo, you're likely concerned about that headline price drop and what it means for your equity. The data says your land is still the most valuable in the city, but your buyer pool is smaller and more discerning. That 95.4% original price metric is a warning. Overpricing from the start in this low volume market is extremely costly. You really have two strategic options. The first is to price your home with precision based on that $1,095 per square foot benchmark to attract the limited pool of qualified buyers and aim for a sale within that 22-day median. The other option is to price higher, but you must be prepared for a much longer marketing period and the statistical likelihood of a price reduction. If you want clarity, schedule a quick call and I'll show you the price band buyers are actually rewarding right now and the specific early warning signs that tell you when you need to adjust before the market does it for you. If you're looking to buy a single family home in South Redondo, you might be asking if this is a moment of opportunity. The answer is yes, potentially. The price per square foot has softened slightly year over year, and the mix shift means you might find entry-level luxury homes without the intense competition we saw last year. Your posture should be one of strategic patience. You have more negotiating room here than anywhere else in the city, especially on homes that have been on the market for more than 3 weeks. The data shows sellers are willing to come down from their initial asking price. How to identify those opportunities is a key part of a direct strategy session. Now let's pivot to condos and townhomes, where the story splits dramatically between the north and south. Let's start with South Redondo condos. This is the slowest lane in the city right now. Units here are sitting on the market for a median of 41 days. Supply has built up to 3.1 months of supply, which is the highest in the Redondo Beach market right now. Despite the slowdown, sellers are holding incredibly firm on price, receiving 99.7% of their last list price. This is a market defined by a standoff. What that really means for you if you sell a condo in South Redondo is that you must be prepared for a war of attrition. Buyers have options. They are taking their time, but sellers are refusing to concede on price. If you're an owner of a condo in South Redondo, your primary fear is stillness. Sitting on the market for over a month can make buyers think something is wrong with your unit. With the median at 41 days, if you cross the 45-day mark without a a strong offer, you are officially in the danger zone. Your strategy has to be about standing out. This means either your presentation, from staging to photography, must be absolutely flawless to justify that top dollar price, or you must price your unit to be the undeniable best value in the building to attract a buyer more quickly. If you're deciding whether to sell this spring or hold, a generic estimate won't help. I can put together a CMA for your exact address, recent comps, current competition, and what buyers are actually paying in your lane. I'll show you two pricing approaches, one designed to drive urgency early and one that tests higher, plus the trade-off so that you can choose based on your timeline and risk tolerance. You can schedule that one-on-one strategy session in the link below. Now let's look at North Redondo condos. This is the workhorse of the market. With 13 closed sales in January, this segment saw more activity than all other segments combined. The median days on market is a much faster 30 days, and the price per square foot has held remarkably steady at $693. This is a liquid, predictable market. If you own a condo in North Redondo, you have the benefit of a consistent demand. You're not facing the long waits of the South. Your challenge is simply pricing correctly within a very active market. If you are a move-up seller, this is the ideal environment because the 30-day timeline gives you predictability for your next purchase. Book a free consultation and I'll help you sequence the timing so that you're not guessing. List timeline, purchase timeline, and how to avoid paying twice for housing. If you're buying a condo, the citywide average of 39 days on market is a dangerous number to trust. In South Redondo, you have 41 days of breathing room. In North Redondo, the homes you are looking at are moving in 30 days. Your posture has to match the specific neighborhood you're in. Schedule a call and I'll help you calibrate your pace to the specific building and micro area you're shopping for so that you don't lose the right unit or overbid on the wrong one. So here's the scoreboard for February 2026. If you're an owner in North Redondo single family, you are in the sprint lane. Expect speed and full price. If you're an owner in South Redondo single family, you are in the premium lane. Ignore the medium drop, trust the price per square foot, but prepare for a negotiation. If you're an owner of a condo, you're in two different worlds. South Redondo demands patience and presentation. North Redondo offers liquidity and speed. If you want to translate this scoreboard into a specific plan for your address, you can schedule a quick strategy session using the link below. That's the neighborhood math. Now let's talk about the forces you won't see on a comparative market analysis. The macro drivers that are shaping the wallet of your potential buyer. There are three major forces pressing on our market right now: the cost of money, the labor market, and the affordability ceiling. First, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate has stabilized around 6.10% as of late January. This is down significantly from the near 7% a year ago. Second, the Federal Reserve is currently holding the federal funds rate steady at 3.50% to 3.75%. They are in a wait-and-see mode. Third, the labor market is showing signs of fragility, with only 50,000 jobs created nationally in December. For you as a seller, this means the budget shock that froze buyers last year is thawing. A 6.10% rate is much more palatable than a 7.5% one. However, the fragility in the job market means buyers are cautious. They have the ability to buy, but they don't have the reckless confidence to overpay. This brings us to affordability. In the Los Angeles metro area, the housing affordability index is hovering around 58.8. In plain English, that means the typical family only earns about 60% of what they need to afford the median home price. For sellers, this defines your buyer pool. You are not selling to the average earner. You are selling to the top 15 to 20% of income earners who are qualified but are stretching their budget to the limit. They are highly sensitive to the surprise costs like immediate repairs or high HOAs. If you sell now, you are selling into a window where rates have improved affordability slightly, but the ceiling is still very low. I want to ask you a question. Are you waiting for rates to drop to 5.5%, or are you planning to move regardless of the Fed? Your answer matters because the next set of changes hits neighborhoods differently depending on where you are and when you plan to move. We talked about scarcity being the baseline, 2 to 3 months of supply, but there is a structural change happening right now that is going to alter the desirability of North Redondo specifically. I'm talking about the Metro K-Line extension. On January 22nd, the Metro Board officially selected the Hawthorne Boulevard alignment. Think of this as turning a commuter corridor into a major transit artery. For years, there was uncertainty about whether the train would run through the residential rights of way in North Redondo. That uncertainty is gone. Here's the 3-beat story of what just happened. First, the trigger. The Metro Board has to choose between running a train through quiet neighborhoods or down the commercial corridor. Second, the result. They chose Hawthorne Boulevard. This removes the train stigma from the residential streets of North Redondo, effectively uncapping their value. Third, ground zero. The area around the South Bay Galleria and Artesia is now set to become a transit-oriented hub. For owners in North Redondo, this is a green light. The threats of construction noise in your backyard is gone. For owners near the Galleria, you are now looking at a future of increased density and connectivity. This supports the urbanization of North Redondo, making it a distinct market from the quiet coastal vibe of the South. So here's the central conflict of the February market: scarcity versus friction. We have low inventory keeping a floor under prices, but we have higher prices and economic caution creating friction in every deal. Doing nothing is also a decision. If you wait, you might see lower rates later in the year, but you might also see more inventory and a softer job market. So how do you play your cards in this market? If you sell in the next 3 to 6 months, you are selling into a neutral tightening regime. You avoid the risk of a potential inventory glut later in 2026, and you capitalize on the current 6.10% rate window that is bringing buyers back to the table. By working with a strategic advisor, you avoid the trap of overpricing in a sensitive market or underselling in a fast one. You gain a flight plan that is based on data for your specific neighborhood, not a citywide average. If you want to ensure future you is glad you handled it the way you did, let's have a conversation. If you want to turn this scoreboard into a specific plan for your home address, grab the HomeBot report or book a quick strategy call using the link below. The goal is clarity, not pressure. I'm Mr. Hernandez, and I'll see you in the next video.